It is Wednesday, September 23rd, 2020, and this is an update on the Three Gorges Dam and current events in China. We have 5 pieces of information to cover today, including a look at the status of the water level and the live streams at the Three Gorges Dam. Also, courtesy of Shine.cn, China's Songhua River sees second flood this year. Also, courtesy of Global Times, China announces measures to boost soybean sector. Next, courtesy of RFD TV, China estimated to import 7 million metric tons of corn. We also have some new tweets. Let's hop into it. And a brief caveat before today's video. While researching for these reports, I come across information from various sources. Just because I decide to include a piece of information doesn't necessarily mean that I agree with it. I like to let you decide for yourself. Moving on. And as I mentioned in yesterday's video, both of the live streaming cameras at the Three Gorges Dam had been deactivated, but today the spillway angle camera has been reactivated and the side angle camera remains off. Just thought I would pass that along. And let's have a quick look at the status of the water level at the Three Gorges Dam before we get started. The current water level at the Three Gorges Dam is 160.45 meters. The current inflow is 24,800 cubic meters per second, and the current outflow sits at 26,800 cubic meters per second. It is worth noting that these numbers are released by the CCP. And as we can see by the chart currently pictured, the water level in the past 24 hours at the Three Gorges Dam has dropped from 160.7 meters to 160.45 meters. Upstream at Kuntan, the water level was 170.55 meters 24 hours ago, before dropping down to 170.37 meters. The current water level is 170.65 meters. And this comes courtesy of Shine.cn. China's Songhua River sees second flood this year. Northeast China's Songhua River saw its second flood of the year on Tuesday in its upper reaches following continuous rainfall and upstream runoffs. At 1:05 p.m., the water level of the Harbin hydrometric station in Harbin, the capital of Heilongjiang province, rose to the warning line of 118.3 meters. The Heilongjiang Hydrology and Water Resources Center issued a yellow alert for floods at 2 p.m., warning of possible floods at the Harbin section of the Songhua River. China has a 4-tier color-coded warning system for flooding, with red representing the most severe, followed by orange, yellow, and blue. And this comes courtesy of RFD TV. China estimated to import 7 million metric tons of corn. Exports of U.S. soybeans to China started off the new marketing year strong, and the latest USDA weekly sales data shows the pace of trade is heating up. The latest USDA report shows the U.S. shipped more than 1 million tons of soybeans to China in the first full week of the marketing year, but U.S. corn and sorghum sales and exports to China are also strong. China purchased nearly 360,000 tons of U.S. corn. One economist says that the U.S. could see a record corn crop at home. Bill Tierney, the chief economist for AG Resource, states, "The USDA thinks China's corn imports are going to be huge this year. They said they're going to be about 7 million metric tons, and the most China has bought from all sources has been 7 million metric tons." On the same day that the USDA released their supply and demand estimates, the Chinese government released their supply and demand projections. Now they are estimating that China's corn imports will be 7 million metric tons. The data also shows China sold more than 120,000 tons of sorghum, and more than 50,000 tons of pork. Thank you for watching this video. If you're finding it informative, please consider giving the channel a subscribe. And this comes courtesy of Global Times. China announces measures to boost soybean sector. China's Agriculture Authority on Tuesday unveiled plans to boost the nation's soybean planting sector, including the establishment of a seed production base in northeast China's Heilongjiang province. The move aims to increase the domestic soybean crop's quality and branding, and it will boost the sector's development, but it is unlikely to change China's soybean import structure, experts said. In a statement, China's Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Affairs said on Tuesday that it has been working to improve domestic soybeans quality and output, and is mulling to set up a national high-quality soybean seed base in Heilongjiang. There's not enough suitable land in China to grow soybeans, and the new base may find a way to improve yields. Li Guoshang, a research fellow in the agricultural sector at the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, told the Global Times on Tuesday. U.S. soybeans account for a large portion of China's import volume, as bilateral ties between China and the U.S. have witnessed a sharp deterioration. Any move by China on soybeans will attract media speculation. But beyond improving domestic soybeans quality, the move is unlikely to change China's soybean import structure in the near future, Zhao Shanwei, an agricultural expert, told the Global Times. According to Zhao, China's annual soybean consumption in recent years has been about 110 million tons. Although the domestic harvest has increased in recent years, reliance on imports is relatively high in light of the domestic supply and demand pattern. Domestic soybeans are mainly non-GMO, as China has banned genetically modified soybeans from entering the food chain. The domestically grown crops are mainly used for food such as tofu, and imported soybeans are used mostly to make cooking oil, according to Li. According to China's official data, about 90 million tons of soybeans are imported annually, accounting for more than 85% of China's soybean consumption. Imports may decline gradually in the future, but the process and extent of the decline will be relatively small and slow, said Zhao. Although imported soybeans will still take up a major proportion of total consumption in China for a while, Li said that the nation's new program will help improve the soybean industry structure so as to reduce supply chain risks. Imports are unlikely to either rise or fall, Zhao said, and domestic demand for soybean oil has almost reached its limit. The market is basically saturated. And our last piece of information is a series of interesting tweets. And I think that's a good place to wrap up today's video. I hope that you found it informative, and check back soon for more content.